to our session today on recruiting. As you very well know, recruiting members is key for us to be able to efficiently grow a group and have great activities and move forward while avoiding burnout. So, some of the reasons why we want more people in a group is getting more work done, building a diverse pool of skills because we obviously don't know everything, and bringing a mix of interests and perspectives can be wonderful for a group. um, we also need to build the movement, have more people, and as we have more people, we have more political power. And also, we need to continue recruiting all the time because volunteers leave group for a million of reasons, whether they want to leave or not. So we need to continue recruiting and keeping people coming into our group. So these are a few reasons of why do we want more people in our groups. Can you think of another reason that we can add to this list?
I'm thinking it might fall on the, and I'm sharing because nobody else is speaking. It might fall on the point too with building a more diverse pool of skills. But it's that you get to learn from each other, uh, whether it's working style or the skill itself, or just how to interact with groups and so forth.
I would also say, next to just now, with the perspective and relationship, I said if we recruit more people, then we have like a more wider vision or more, ideas coming on board. So the more you employ, want more people, is that you get more ideas come on board. So I think that would go under number two.
Wonderful, definitely. Yes, these are two great extra reasons for us to have more people in our group. And as we want to invite people into our group, we need to think about the reasons why they join. So that way we can think about how to invite them, how to make our group attractive. And some of the reasons why people join a group can be values, because they care about the issue. It can be personal impact because they are personally affected by the issue, so they want to work to fix it. It can also be something as simple as transactions. Like we're at an event, and if you sign up for the group, sign up to volunteer or something, you get a free T-shirt. You get a certificate to add to your resume. You get something in return. And another reason, and a very important one, is social need, the interest and the need to meet people, or the social pressure to act on a topic that is important to their own network. So these are all general reasons why people join a group. And as we invite people, it's important for us to think, why have we joined a group? So I'm gonna share the slides, and let's work on the slides together for a second. Um, Sorry, I didn't share this earlier, but I'm gonna paste it here in the chat. And let's put a star next to each of the things that have made us join a group. So, for example, I have joined a group because I have been concerned with the issue, and also because I wanted to meet new people. So why have you joined a group? And if you're not able to open the slides, you can let us know which one and we can add a star next to it. Yeah, I see someone added a star next to they are concerned about the cause. What other reasons have brought you to a group?
I would say I would like to put a star under they are concerned about the cause. And yes, let me see. And I put, sorry, I will put under they are directly affected by the problems the group works on.
Someone else was about to say something as well.
Yes, I would say directly affected by the problem the group work on. Also, learn new topics and add these to resume. Passion and also improve personal development.
Yes, I would also like to put a star under that, learn about new topics and add this to resume. That sounds good too. And improve personal development.
Also, the one with people with good influence. I think that's one of the, yeah, friends involved and people with good influence.
Great. So as you can see, even within this small group of us today, there are a lot of reasons why people have joined a group. So as we invite people to participate in the group, we need to think, what is my group offering to this wide range of interests? Am I offering new skills? Am I connecting with people that care about this? Am I inviting people that are directly affected by the problem, etc.? And for the same reason that people join groups, people also leave groups. So if you're on the slides, go to the next one and add a star next to a reason that has caused you to leave a group before. So for example, I have left a group because of poorly run meetings that lasted 2-3 hours, and we didn't reach any next steps, any working points. People just talked and talked and talked. And also, I have left the group because I've been asked to do boring tasks, or I wasn't asked to do any task at all that made me feel like I was part of the group. So, what has caused you to leave a group before?
For me, I would bad communication, poorly run meetings, people don't feel connected to the issue, personal relationship issues, isolation, lack of responsibility and no assistance. Actually, all this, I know people leave groups for no assistance from group members.
I would say for me, bad communication. Let me see. No assistance from group member, and people don't feel connected to the issue. Yes.
Anyone else wants to say a reason from this list of why they left a group in the past?
Disrespect. I would say disrespect.
Okay.
And also, if somebody feel intimidated, they would, decide to leave the group.
Thanks for adding that. And as you can see, also again in this small group of us, we have a whole list of reasons of why we have left groups in the past. So as we lead groups, it's important for us to think about what we need to do in our group and what group culture we need to create so that we can avoid these issues that cause people that have good intentions are motivated to lead the group. So we need to think about what keeps people engaged. And some important things are first feeling appreciated and needed. If they join a group not because they just want to sit around and do nothing, they want to be useful, they want to take part, they want to learn things, they want to feel like they are part of a bigger thing. So feeling like they're needed and appreciated after the good things are done is very important. It's also important to have good communication. Good communication is key to keep people engaged, being clear on the decisions that were made, why they were made, and asking people for what they need and what questions they have. Also, it's important to offer growth opportunities, like learning spaces and exercise skills, and develop them into roles. If you see someone that has an interest in something in particular, like they really like working with numbers or money, for example, um, then invite them to be part of your fundraising team. If they are really into art, you can invite them to do something art related. Or if they said like, oh, like a couple of you mentioned earlier, like, oh, I want to learn public speaking someday, then invite them to start practicing that and help them facilitate one of your meetings so they can start practicing that and have growth opportunities. And that is very tied together with the other thing that keeps people engaged is the ability to participate in a meaningful way, offer clear roles, participate in decision making, have a voice, have authority, and understand the relationship of their role to the main mission. Because it's not the same thing to give someone a pack of 100 flyers and with no explanation, send them out into the city to post these flyers somewhere They will not be motivated. They will not understand what's the point. But if you explain these flyers are for people to help us sign a petition that we have online, and if we get 2,000 signatures, we're gonna be able to get the mayor to give us 10 new solar panels for our community building. And that is a clear explanation of what they're doing and how their role is important, and how the sending out flyers and pasting flyers all over the city is very meaningful to the cause, and how their role is very important to that. So as we recruit and as we're keeping all these things of how to engage people in mind, we need to prepare this following steps that include creating initial contact, whether it's by flyers or virtual or face-to-face or a social media post or whatever. Think about what methods you're going to use for your initial contact. After you get the initial contact, you need to capture the information. That it's very important whether you capture it through a petition, through a Google form, through an old school pen and paper. Capture their contact information always, and quickly add that information in an electronic database. If you're doing it on paper, it can be tedious. If you're doing it even online and you're doing it separate from your spreadsheet where you keep all the names usually, add all that information to the same place so you can access it quickly and communicate with people easier, and not accidentally miss out on contacting anyone that might have been very interested but unfortunately was not able to get messages from you. And always, always, always follow up. Invite them to the next meeting. That when you have that initial contact, always have something in mind that you're gonna invite them to next. You can say, oh, in 3 weeks we have our next monthly meeting. This day in February we're gonna have a training. This day in March, we're gonna have this event. Always have a date and time and a next opportunity for them to be able to volunteer or just join. And if they don't show up the first time, that's okay. That's normal. Things happen and not everyone can be available every single date, but always invite them again. Don't feel like because they didn't attend the first time, you can't invite them. After recruiting, it's important to think about how we retain members. We need to follow up more than once, and we need to think beyond email. Everyone is getting too many emails. We need to think about phone calls and meeting in person, and following up various times, because people are busy and are getting too many messages from everything, some things that are necessary, some things that are unnecessary, and all of them send too many messages, so people might miss your message. Feel free to follow up more than once. Again, have a list of next activities always that they can be invited to. And once they attend, involve them directly in the group. Be welcoming, be open to hear their ideas, and have clear roles to offer and give people interesting tasks. If they don't like working with numbers and money, please don't ask them to be on the fundraising committee. If that makes them uncomfortable, they're not gonna want to be there. So think about what roles you have, those roles that you thought about as you were creating your team plan and your team goals, and offer roles that can be relatable to them. And also when it comes to be welcoming, that sounds kind of obvious, like who wouldn't be welcoming? But it's something that happens in groups. I've been to groups and meetings where like the leaders and everyone is like so busy and everything is so fast paced that they literally did not even say like, hi, what's your name? And that made me feel like, oh, like I'm not welcome here, maybe like what is happening. And I know it's just like because they were like busy and trying to figure out a million things at the same time, and they were probably feeling like very tired and burnt out. But it's always important as we invite new people to like pause and make sure that they know we know they're here and that we recognize and appreciate their presence. And if it's, for example, a big event that you as a team leader are going to be doing a million things, make sure you can assign someone and be like, say that you're the person in charge of welcoming people, of, I don't know, let's say like a welcoming committee, and put someone in charge of that so that those new volunteers can always feel like they're part of the group from day one. And after retaining the new volunteers, it's important to develop leaders. So you need to plan your strategy, your goals, your timeline with your group and create spaces to listen to their ideas and leave some space for ideas that can help people grow, even if they're not directly related to your actual work. For example, some years ago, I was leading a group and we were working around access to water. And there was this person that she was really, really interested in recycling. And we were like, that is not exactly what we work on, but if you want to create a recycling committee, feel free to do that, and we can support you with what's within our capacity. And she created that recycling group. She led that recycling committee and eventually felt more comfortable, felt more empowered and confident in her leadership abilities, and ended up like 2 years later becoming president of the group, the role that I previously had when she entered the group. So that like little space to give her to do something that she was interested in helped her grow. It was not directly related to the work we were doing, but just that like tiny space for her to realize that she could do it allowed her to then grow and focus on the things that the rest of the group was doing. And it's also very important to train them on new tasks. If you ask them to facilitate a meeting, give them a little training first, even if it's 20 minutes on how to facilitate a meeting, not just like ask them to do big things that might seem scary without giving them support first. And also have people develop new activities and events and initiatives from scratch. Have open space for feedback, like what worked, what didn't, what we can do better for the next event, for the next time. Have occasional one-on-one meetings with them to know what they're thinking, if they like their role, if they want to change into a new role. Maybe they're doing arts and now they want to do social media work with the group, and you might not know that unless you talk with them one-on-one. and also create different committees to decentralize the work to for you to have a lesser workload and for them to be able to grow as leaders within the group. So I already talked a lot about this, so let's take a couple of minutes to think about these things, and I will pass it to you, Afifa, to guide us through this exercise.
Okay, great. Just to let you know, Hannah lost internet connection. So she's trying to rejoin, but not sure if she'll be back on. And hi, Hanan, I see you just hopped on. But for this exercise, we are going to take a few minutes um, to think about 3 recruitment tactics that we want to do for our groups. So each of you individually think of 3 recruitment tactics you want to do for your group. What methods you will use to save people's contact information. How do you hope to retain them? How will you incorporate leadership development in your group? So as you work to build your groups, these are things that you're going to need to think about. Of course, you'll need more time to think about this in details and set your plans. But for the next few minutes, I think about we have some time, so we can do like 3 minutes, or actually 2 minutes, and we'll take 2 minutes to think about like some initial thoughts, these questions, and then we'll come back and share with everyone. So it's 3:35 right now on my end, around 3:37. Okay. Okay, sure, go ahead.
3 of my tactics that I will use, I would have think interview persons, social media campaigns, put out ads, and I would do like small questionnaires to get people how to say it, people opinion on some questions, and see if they know about the topic that I'm talking about, and if so, I will get more input from them. You know, what are their thoughts, if they would like to be a part of the group. So those are 3 of my tactics that I would use. Method used to share contact information. I would use soft copies like with datas, and also database with person's information would be still uh, store in soft copies and on USBs also. Yeah, and what is the last question? To incorporate leadership development into your volume. So for the last question, how will you incorporate leadership development in your group? I would, it depends on person's skills and how much they know, then they can be qualified for positions. That's it for me.
Thank you, Denise. Just checking, did you put down anything for question 3 in terms of how you hope to retain them, keep them involved in the group?
So no, but I will just speak offhand what I think. So it is possible to have like stipends for them with transportations and so that you can make sure that they come to meetings, that one way you can retain them. Other ways is keep them busy with not just like you mentioned emails, but also try to do in-person meetings and keep the meetings like not far apart to, lose track of them. Keep them intact with meetings and help them to some sort of, stipends of help for them to reach to your destination so you can keep them coming. That's it for me.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Denise. Kenya, would you like to share?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I would like to share a FIFA. Okay. Question number one, what are 3 recruitment tactics you will do? 3 recruitment tactics I will use is definitely social media. I think that's like the number 1 tactic. And also, you can do ads because people do use newspapers still. And also, one-on-one, you can recruit others by actually speaking to them one-on-one, and maybe you can meet someone through your own network, because there must be people that you socialize with that are into similar things that your group is doing, so you can also tap into that. And the methods I will use to save people's contact information is that I'll put it in a database, most likely Microsoft Excel. I save that in a spreadsheet so that I can always go back and reach out to them if I do need to. How do I hope to retain these people? I intend to retain them by incentivizing them. Incentives are good ways of retaining volunteers. I will also give them tasks. Well, I'll give them the opportunity to volunteer for a task that they are particularly interested in. For instance, if someone's a graphic designer, I will definitely try to see how I can get them to do flyers or anything that involves graphic designing. So I take their skills into consideration when I try to get them to do things. And also I keep meetings, I keep meetings interesting, of course. There's also another way of retaining volunteers and exciting. How will you incorporate leadership development in your group? Mainly through training, I believe, and development. So anything that is to the group, any training opportunity that, that lines up with what the group does, I think that that can definitely be incorporated, whether it be internally or external. So I think those are some of the ways. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenya. Hanan, I know you missed the content, but I just want to check if you had any thoughts reading these questions and hearing others' responses, and if you wanted to share.
Hey, Afisa. Hi, girls. Good afternoon. Yeah, sorry I missed the actual training bit. But I was thinking about the questions and I did make notes. As I was listening, I was like, I really need to watch back the recording for this because the things I made note of, I'm like, at first I was thinking, oh, like networking as a way of, it wasn't even like a recruitment tactic, but just thinking of like within the network of like asking people if they know people who they would recommend so that you already know the kind of caliber of person that will be coming into the group. But I really enjoyed listening to what the girls said, especially about how you can retain them and also like the leadership development aspects. Really good to hear. So I will be listening to the recording.
Sure, thanks, Hanan. And I think that's also a great way to recruit people, especially if you're looking for someone with a specific skill to help you on a specific project. I think networking and asking people within your network for recommendations is also a really good way to get people on board with the necessary skills that you might need in a given moment. So yeah, thank you all for sharing. I know you started an initial brainstorm here, but do take some more time to review the content, review the questions, because these would be really helpful in planning how you actually go about your recruitment and retaining your membership as you build out your groups in the next few weeks.